Christie, Rubio, Ryan, Bush. Those are a few of the names often mentioned as possible Republican presidential candidates in 2016. But political strategists on both sides say don't overlook Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Tonight, Fox 11 is on special assignment. Robert Hornacek has more on Walker's political future and what it could mean for Wisconsin.
Governor Scott Walker has battled public employee unions. He survived a recall. Now, some say he could be the next president.
Oh, anybody who says that Scott Walker is not a serious candidate if he runs for president, I think is being dishonest.
I think if he did run, he would be a quality candidate.
The election is still 3 years away, but Walker isn't shying away from the spotlight. He's writing a book. He appeared at a fundraiser in Iowa in May, and he's become a popular speaker at conservative events across the country.
Do you have any plans or any ideas or thoughts about running for president in 2016?
I honestly don't really talk about it. I don't think about it. I love being governor. I had to work pretty hard twice in my term to be governor, first in 10 and again in 2012. So it's something, the interesting thing is all the people, all the talking and thinking about it seems to be being done by folks in the media, the pundits out there who want to speculate what's next. In my case, I love being governor. I really love it.
While Walker dismisses the idea, that hasn't stopped the speculation. Earlier this year, Walker topped a list of possible Republican candidates put together by Larry Sabato of the University of Virginia Center for Politics. Some of Walker's most vocal critics are convinced the governor has his eyes on the White House.
Well, I think the reason that Governor Walker would run for president is because his political ambition knows no bounds.
Scott Ross runs the liberal group One Wisconsin Now. He accuses Walker of trying to pad his national resume by taking on public unions, enacting a tax cut, refusing to expand Medicaid under Obamacare, and expanding school vouchers.
Well, I think the bad news for the people of Wisconsin when it comes to Governor Walker making this run for president is the damage he's going to inflict on us to win a Republican Tea Party primary.
But Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says Walker is simply staying true to his conservative principles.
I certainly believe that he is entirely focused right now on making sure Wisconsin's in a good place.
If Walker does decide to run for president in 2016, he could actually thank the Democrats, because without them, he may have never received so much national attention. The massive protests in Madison in 2010 and the recall election thrust Walker onto the national stage. Not only did Walker win the recall, he also was able to raise millions of dollars in campaign contributions from across the country. Republican strategist Terry Nelson, who helped run George W. Bush's re-election campaign in 2004, says Walker has an advantage over many of the other possible candidates.
Certainly a lot of, primary voters in 2016 would likely take a serious look at him and already know who he is, and some of them have already contributed financially to him.
But Nelson says it's a bit early to start officially campaigning for president.
I don't expect to see an aggressive effort by Governor Walker to go out and court future primary voters in other states, and I would be surprised if he did, and I frankly don't think it will have much of an impact on him if he decides to run for president.
Democratic State Senator John Erpenbach says he couldn't think of a more polarizing candidate than Walker.
I mean, if they really truly want to win the presidency, I think they can do a lot better than Scott Walker.
Erpenbach says at some point Walker will have to explain why the state has only added 62,000 private sector jobs during his term. That's far from the pace needed to live up to his campaign promise of 250,000 jobs in 4 years.
He's been driving the bus here in Wisconsin for 2.5 years. Whatever good or bad or indifferent is going on in Wisconsin right now, given the fact that he's had the majority in both houses, is entirely his fault. He can't blame the recalls. He can't blame the Democrats. He can't blame anything other than the fact that his policies for this state, for the majority of this state, aren't working.
What do you say to critics out there who point to your jobs numbers and they'll say that that's evidence that your policies aren't working?
Well, I said those very critics were the ones who presided over the state government when we lost 133, almost 134,000 jobs. In the past, the old policy from those very same critics was double-digit tax increases, billion-dollar budget deficits, and that led to record job loss. We have fundamentally turned that around.
Before Walker can make any decisions about 2016, he first has to get through 2014. That's when he's up for re-election as governor here in Wisconsin. And you can bet during that campaign there'll be plenty of questions about whether he'll run for president. For Fox 11 on special assignment, I'm Robert Hornacek.
Who is already on the presidential race, a man named Victor Walker. He's an independent from Maryland. If you'd like to see a full list of people registered for 2016, go to our website, fox11online.com, and click on the On Assignment section.